Indoor cycling, Zwift, racing, parenting. We cover those and all of our hopes and dreams in between. Welcome to the Talk Dirty to Me podcast, an entertaining look into the lives of everyday people trying to achieve virtual cycling glory from our basements and garages from around the world. This podcast is rooted in Zwift and has evolved into found friendships, fitness, health, and a little sprinkle of humor. This may be one of the only podcasts where a little heavy breathing shouldn't scare you away, because we're riding our bikes while we're recording it.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, twilight. I don't know. If that made you think of vampires, you need to rethink your life.
Sure did.
This morning, we are joined by our friend Greg Thompson. Some of you may know him as Vermont Greg, which is inaccurate. He is not from Vermont. He is not a fan of cheese. I don't know, he might be. I haven't asked him that question yet.
If you are named Greg, you might know him as Other Greg.
Other Greg. New Greg.
We've got a couple Gregs.
A couple Gregs, yeah, that's true. Two that I know of.
Well, we had Goose as a Greg.
Oh.
And then there was somebody else. But there's another Greg in a brief period, I think.
Fair.
Defected, right?
Yes.
What's that? Yeah.
I think he's defected, right?
Correct.
He's still around every now and then. Greg, how are you, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Tell us about yourself. You're not from Vermont. You
Sure.
are from Virginia, correct?
Correct. Born.
There we go.
Yes. Born, not necessarily raised, but born in Virginia. So Greg Thompson, live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Actually live in Harrisburg, but even people in Charlotte don't know where Harrisburg is, so I'll go with Charlotte. Was born in Virginia. Moved up and down the East Coast a good bit through my formidable years, and then ended up at Virginia Tech. A little bit of a legacy. My dad also went there, so going to high school in Massachusetts, there was some pressure to save some money and get back to the good old VT. So ended up there. Engineering degree, which I never used in my entire professional life.
It's good to have, though. Just that back pocket, right?
Yeah. And yes, the VT is for Virginia Tech, not for Vermont. So married. My wife Brandy and I have lived in Charlotte for 16 years. We got two kids, Clark and Kiki, 11 and 8. And on the special front, I'm in IT. I've got a CIO role with a locally based flexible packaging manufacturer.
Packaging manufacturing?
Flexible packaging manufacturer.
Manufacturer, okay.
Yeah, so.
I still don't know what that is, but we'll move on.
So,
some people are like, I don't even know what it is.
Condom packages, stuff like that,
No, those I am familiar with. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, diaper packages.
So like
packaging that is itself flexible.
Yes, correct. Lots of the food, medical space, little iodine wipes, any sort of meat packaging. That kind of stuff.
Which still falls under the realm of never mind. Sorry.
Correct. Yes. Very versatile. Very versatile.
Very versatile. Yes, agreed. So, tell us a little bit about your athletics training, because my understanding is that you ride with a club. Is that right?
Well,
or a team?
You say Other Greg is a real cyclist?
I didn't say that, but I did infer it.
We like to call ourselves a team. Club has negative connotations in the cycling team parlance.
So it's not like a motorcycle club?
Well, it is. We just go slower.
So you still kill people, is what you're saying?
and we don't just typically drink while riding. We tend to drink after riding.
Fair.
But yeah, it's much more of a race-focused team. We travel mostly around the Southeast. And it's been in different iterations. I've been on my current team since 2015. We've got 12 people, I think, on the team. 11, 12 people, all master's age cyclists.
Okay. And because, I mean, my experience in communicating with you is mostly in the like training channels, because like you're legitimately training, as opposed to people like me who just dabble for no reason.
Wins with versus.
Yeah, not even that sometimes. Trust me. So how did you get into cycling? First off.
So I played soccer for a long, long time. I think that's a common thread for a lot of people on here. They either ran or played soccer. And basically got into my late 20s at the time. Started getting tired of getting banged up every weekend playing soccer. Basically, you play Saturday, Sunday. Your ankles and your knees are finally recovered for the next weekend. So was traveling, doing a lot of consulting at the time, and on a project I was on, go and work out with the other consultants, and doing same classes and such. And a couple were like, "You seem to really like this and be pretty good at this. You should just actually buy a bike." So I did, and just kind of went from there. I started riding, got my bike my first adult bike in 2007 or early 2007, and I started with like an 18 or 20 mile loop out by my house. Would ride that when I was home. I traveled Mondays and Thursdays, but ride Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Saturdays and Sundays got longer. In 2009, I started racing and just kind of went from there. So it was I felt like I'd really arrived. Going back to the BT stuff, we have season tickets, we go to all the games, all that stuff. And year after year, you're sitting next to the same people with season tickets. So I knew I'd arrived as a cyclist. When at the first game of the season, the fan that sat in front of us were like, "Are you okay? Do you have cancer? Do we need to worry about you?" That's when I lost enough weight to actually look like a cyclist.
Can I buy you another beer, please?
What was your first bike? What was the one that you were using back then?
Yes, it was a Trek 1500, I think.
Nice.
So, aluminum, paired spoke wheels.
Yeah.
It was nice. And I think like most people, I bought a bike and a week later I was like, all right, I need to get another bike because this is not sufficient.
And follow-up question is, did you find it difficult to keep up on a child's bike? Because you said that was your first adult bike, so you must have ridden a child's bike prior to that on the rides. It's like Huffy, Schwinn.
Yeah, big wheels have a really bad rolling resistance, apparently.
Great on aerodynamics, though, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Real low to the ground.
Yeah. Coefficient of drag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just kind of kept increasing mileage, training time, all that stuff. Back at that time, I can't remember when I bought my first trainer. It was one of the old Cyclops MagnaFlow or fluid trainers or whatnot. And I don't know if anybody's ridden those or, road trainers back in the Stone Age. But it was one of those where anything more than about an hour, you wanted to put a bullet in your head. It was so monotonous. And so I couldn't watch movies anyway. So most of my training was outdoors until really, I guess 2011, 2012, I got a country trainer, which started my indoor cycling career, if you want to call it that. But Zwift was a game changer in 2015.
So you were a fairly early adopter to the Zwift, is what you're saying?
I was. So at the time, I did not have a Windows-based PC in my home. I had a MacBook, so I had to wait for the Mac client to roll out. And I think the day it rolled out, I was on. But yeah, that's how Tiago and some of those others got me by a couple of months.
Tiago.
Yeah, because I'm competitive about when I got my Zwift too.
I think Jimmy might have you all beat.
Yeah?
Jimmy was on right after beta ended, I think.
That seems to track for Jimmy, though.
Like late summer, early fall of 2014?
Yeah. We'll ask him. Research department will get on that.
Yeah. Pause, please. No, I'm just kidding.
And then how did you get into competitive racing then, Greg?
Yeah, so honestly, I don't know what drove me to do it. So there's a number of competitive group rides in the area, and getting out and starting to ride those and maybe be a little bit more proficient at staying with the front group and stuff. I don't remember if someone suggested it to me or if I was like, hey, this seems like fun, what could be more fun than riding a bike in Lycra at high speeds and falling and, tearing all your skin off, right?
Or slow speeds, for that matter.
Well, true. There's not a lot of hills.
Lycra's such a great thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I did my first, I remember it was Blythewood, South Carolina, first road race. It was Cat 5 road race. And I don't know, it may have been like 25 miles, 25 or something like that miles. So yeah, I started slow. I only raced a couple times that first year. I did take it slow as far as catting up. So for those not familiar, USA Cycling has a category system, Cat 5. At the time it was Cat 5 through Cat 1. Now I think they call it novice or beginner or something. But yeah, started there, and then 2010 raced quite a bit more. 2011 through 2015 raced a ton, and then kind of been steady since say 2015, racing more of the Masters age stuff.
Hey, cool. What cat are you now?
I am a Cat 1. So Lifetime Achievement Award. Was able to upgrade to that last year. Thank you, COVID. Management field sizes.
And so you do predominantly like long road races, or you don't do crits or anything like that? Or do you?
No, I do all of it. So not most. A lot of the races in the Southeast are put on by a particular promoter, Top U Sports, and they do a lot of omniums where they'll have on Saturday either a crit or road race. That afternoon have a time trial, and then Sunday have a crit or a road race, depending on what was the other day.
Yeah.
Day. I've got one Tonga down in North Georgia that's a 3-day where Friday night there's a crit, and there's a road race on Saturday, TT Saturday afternoon, road race Sunday. That I've been doing for a number of years. But it really depends. The racing scene's really changed since I started racing. I would say we used to have a promoter that put on a ton of races in the Charlotte area, and he's moved more to the mass start events. So I think it's a lot more lucrative for him and a lot less pain in the ass dealing with skinny cyclists who push it off prize money. But yeah, we used to have some awesome series in and around Charlotte. So when I first started racing, especially say like 2012, 2011 through 2015, if I wanted to drive 2 hours, within a 2-hour radius of Charlotte, I could just jump about every weekend if I wanted to. I had a number of years where I'd have 30 or 40 race days. Now it's tough to get to 2025. Because when I travel for races, it's Florida, Georgia, Virginia, stuff like that. There isn't much locally.
Huh.
Dang.
So when I do travel, I want to get as many races in as possible.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite type of race to race?
The one he wins.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
I enjoy it all. I think the highly technical crits, I've got good legs. My handling is not maybe as good, especially when you're racing against maybe other Cat 1s or Cat 2s. In the Masters, it's fine. But yeah, I'd say from a suitability perspective, a rolling / hilly road race fits me and my style of racing and my skill set a little bit more. So I'm more of the windshield than the bug in those cases, and that's always fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, the question we have not gotten to yet, which, is for us, of course, most important, is how did you come about dirt?
Yeah.
So, again, like many, I think I'd seen dirt around in the many years of riding on Zwift.
And you thought it was a mountain bike team?
No, I think I was able to piece together that it was Dad's inside. I can't remember if I saw a logo or exactly what it was, or was on a ride or something. But I didn't do a lot of group rides or races until probably COVID time. I would mostly use Zwift in the winter for basics and intervals.
Yeah.
And as a result, I wasn't, jumping into a lot of events.
Sure.
But when I think I'd actually signed on the Facebook page with Dirt before I actually quote unquote joined Dirt. But in 2020, USA Cycling did a Zwift race series because all the races stopped. And it was me and Sterny and Scott Olson. There were a number of Dirt guys on that. And I had Dirt in my bag, but wasn't racing with them, wasn't on Discord, any of that. And, mid-race, kind of trading polls, attacking all that stuff. I get this PM from Sterny. He's like, dude, you need to race with us. Like, what's going on? And, that was the beginning of it. From jumped into the race series with them on Discord for the rest of it. And at that point in time, I'd never heard of Zwift Power or any of that, so got introduced to all the things, that is part of the broader Zwift community. Raced, mainly did races with them. And then at the end of 2020, so I stopped working in August of 2020. Had a lot of time on my hands, was on really good form, and wanted to ride hard and all that stuff. So I think on the Dirt Tour, I reached out and was like, hey, what's this TTT thing? I'm interested. 20-minute power around 5 watts per kilo. And all of a sudden I had a real quick message from Sully being like, hey, ride with us.
Obviously, we had an A team at that point.
We did. It was the beginning. The beginning of the rugby team. Yeah, it was Jerry and Jay and Tiago. Who else? Those are the ones.
I think Jesse was an A.
Yeah, Jesse. Jimmy, I think, rode with us a good bit.
Yeah, Jimmy did.
Time.
Yeah, he did.
So yeah, it was fun, and kind of stuck with that. Because my training is very focused on the outdoor season. I think I did a month or two of that, and then took some time off and started working back into base, and I kind of come and go as the season fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you've come in the right ways. You were, I'll say, groomed by Sterny first, and then pushed on to Sully once you're ready.
That's right. Young
that was my similar path.
Graduated. Yeah.
I think Greg was always the funny one where, I guess it was last year, 2021, everybody else is gearing up for indoor season.
Yeah.
Which obviously, at Dirt is a serious thing. And Greg's posting pictures of his fourth beer of the night. And we're all like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Greg's living it.
It's rest month.
Yeah.
Greg's posted pictures of his meals that he's eating. Yeah. I'm up 8 pounds. Man.
I think my favorite of that series was the night of sushi that you had.
Yeah.
With the giant boat of sushi in front of you.
Yeah.
Boats.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of sushi myself. So.
Yeah. Family vacation down in July. It was pretty epic.
It looked epic.
It was.
I wanted to be family at that point.
We could have a Dirt holiday down there. And bring the same guy back.
I'm in.
Yeah, be careful. This is going up on the internet.
The internet's, yeah. The Riding Dirty guys are doing their meetup, I think, in a couple weeks, aren't they?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which they're probably closer to you. I think they're in Virginia, North Carolina.
I thought they did their meetup in Georgia last year.
Yeah. Maybe it was Georgia. I think you're right. Which is still closer than me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still.
I know there's some in Raleigh, I think, that I've randomly maybe raced with or something like that. But yeah.
So when you're not on the bike, what do you do for fun? Do you do any other sports? Do you?
I love not being on the bike. So honestly, outside of with my engineering background, I break everything down into frameworks, and I always think of kind of the triple constraint. So for me, from a life perspective, it's kind of family, work, and biking. I could probably do 2 of them pretty well at any given time. The third will suffer. So when I'm not on the bike, I'm probably focused on one of those other 2, just so I don't get fired or divorced.
That's interesting. Interesting way to describe it. I think my problem is I have worked with more of an octagon as opposed to a triangle. Now that I think about it,
Octagon of interests.
and I can do about one of them well at a time. Huh? Interesting.
Triple constraints become octagonal constraints.
Yeah.
The key is to try to morph as many things into, say, family or work as you can. So if I'm drinking beer, it's with my family or friends, or with my coworkers, right? Or I guess possibly on the bike, but that doesn't happen quite often.
So your labels are fluid, is what you're saying?
Fluid element, yeah.
Yeah, so you could work drinking into biking or family or work for that matter. I mean,
True.
Why not, right?
All of that
Is
has
drinking
been
an
done
item on your octagon, Todd?
No, not really.
It's at the center.
Yeah,
It's at the center.
It's at the center, yeah. No, not since last Mexico trip. I haven't.
Sure.
Drinking's not in the 8-sided Ninja Star that is my professional and personal career.
And none of this non-alcoholic stuff is allowed as drinking in any of my triple constraints. So.
I knew it was coming up somewhere.
I have found that your cycling is the one that doesn't really blend as well with the others for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, honey, I'm going to go out for a ride. When will you be back?
Yeah.
How long is it going to take? But I could be like, oh, I'm going to work. Okay, see you later.
Isn't it funny how that works? Yeah.
Oh, and you're about to have another kid too, so.
Said I'm about to get real friendly with Zwift this summer.
Yeah, I carved out a good little niche for myself when we were getting ready to have. I can't remember if we were starting to try for our first or a second. All kind of blends together, but I was like, all right, well, we're doing this. Then this year leading up to is the year of the bike, and bought a new bike. I was able to kind of go out and ride and do whatever I wanted, and then I just never stopped doing that. So,
you established an expectation, and you stuck to it. Good for you. Good for you.
Boundaries were set now, but so now I mean it's waking up at 4:30 or 5 to ride. On the weekends, I'm up at 5, and especially outdoors, I'm doing a 4-hour ride. I'm leaving at 5:30 or 6. So I'm home.
Yeah.
Maybe not before everybody's awake, but before everybody's really
shortly after. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But yes, you are correct. That is the one that doesn't fit. Different friends. Nobody in my family does that. They all think I'm crazy, obsessive, which is probably true. But
why do you need a 4-hour ride? Can't you just do it like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You need the 4.
Yeah.
They've never heard if a little bit's good, a lot's better, right?
Yeah.
No, they only hear give an inch, take a mile.
Yeah. Give a mouse a cookie.
Nothing in moderation.
Nope.
That's right. Even moderation.
But you maintain moderation by having 2 polar opposites. Right?
Yeah.
Move that goalpost.
Oh, man.
So it's been fun, and I props to my wife. She puts up with a lot, new bikes and crashes, and all the fun stuff that goes along with all that. As many of you know, I introduced mountain biking to my repertoire, although not very well in the last couple of years. And I think it was the end of 2020 when I got my first mountain bike, and it was January of 2021 when I broke my collarbone.
Yeah.
Not working, out riding mountain bike, go head over handlebars. Countless medical bills later. I was recovered, and then last year separated my other shoulder mountain biking. So I don't know. I need to. That's one of those where it's like, it's fun, but it's a squeeze. I've got good legs. My technical ability sucks. Yeah. But yeah, she puts up with a lot. She's really flexible with the travel and the money spent on biking and the time spent on biking. So I think she knows.
I think Jimmy has a book you might want to reference. I think he got it for Jesse for Christmas, right?
His wife?
It was was it mountain biking for dummies or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Technical skills, I think.
Yeah, technical skills for mountain biking. It's a point of contention for Jesse. But no, that habit becomes very expensive very quickly when you start factoring in medical bills.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about it here before about like, that's one of the beauties of Zwift. And I think it was Schwenker wrote about it in his Cycling Weekly article of just like, all of the stresses of like riding outside. Like we've all been in that situation where you're outside riding and something happens, whether you get a close call on the downhill or a car buzzes you really close or coming through an intersection, whatever. And you're like, damn, I got a kid at home. I'm married. I was about to be roadkill. That doesn't happen on Zwift.
That was my question for Greg is, do you, with Zwift, like, do you still go on group rides and stuff? Or
I do, yeah. I do.
Okay.
I don't as much. So I was very, very fortunate so living outside of Charlotte, I've got really good roads to ride on.
Okay.
And while I've had, my fair share of close calls over the years, 99.9% of our rides are uneventful unless I do something stupid.
Right.
I'm also a big proponent or a big backer of I control what I can control, and I will ride. I'm not going to go out. There's lots of people in charge that will, but I'm not going to go out in rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
Or, the middle of the day on Sunday, right around church, and ride on roads where you're going to put yourself near a bunch of people that aren't used to cycling on the road. So and also as far as the way I ride, I try to be really diligent about paying attention to traffic roads. So anyway, I can control what I can control. Anyway,
Sure.
I was very fortunate to have a good group of folks that used to live out near me that also raced. So we'd get out on the weekends and ride all over the place. And the big group rides, while they're good for fitness and I'll do them occasionally to kind of top off form, they're pretty damn sketchy anymore. Just because you get pack mentality, you get people run stop signs, get people doing dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And to me, that sweet spot is like 3 to 6 people. You got a good tight-knit group. Everybody knows each other, and they're not going to put each other in harm's way. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Most of my training outdoors is solo.
Also finding a group that will ride at the hours that we have to ride at.
Yeah. And
that's the hard part.
Hey guys, anybody want to come with me for a midnight 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning bike ride? Headlights necessary.
Okay.
It's because you don't have 2 kids and you haven't turned 40 yet, Drew. That's like prime time.
It's getting closer.
Yeah,
Ever so closer.
yeah.
I was when I lived in Madison, all the group rides with like the good riders who were all, dentists and restaurant owners and guys that could buy $5,000 bikes, which at the time was quite expensive.
Yeah,
They
still
all
is.
launched off at like 4:35 a.m. Because all those guys were like, I got to be back and go to work.
Yeah.
Right.
In the summertime, I could always go out
to get to school.
Go out to Queens and meet up with Monica
At 2:30.
2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's so true.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we've got a ride like that, Greg, called Kokax at 5:15 every day of the week with the fast rides Tuesday, Thursday. And that's where, for the most part, there's another training race weekly. But that's where all the hitters will go, and you're done by 6:30, right?
Yeah.
Shower, back in the office by 7, depending on where you work. It's great.
Yeah, when I was in my mid-20s when I got invited to one of those, and I was like, no, I'm not waking up that early.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
And look at you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
He was looking forward to getting on the bike at 5 a.m.
Stupid daughter wakes up.
Poor Greg. Greg's had a rough week. His kids were out for school last week, right?
Oh, I've had a rough
2 weeks?
or 3 weeks between
all the stuff.
Yeah.
How much snow did you get
Local
last week?
gun-related incidents, snow days, ice days, sickness.
How much snow did you end up getting last week?
We only got maybe 2 inches of snow, but we got like a half inch of ice.
Okay. Gotcha.
The ice is what
Way
really took us
worse.
down.
Yeah.
Michigan is equipped for snow, but not ice.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes for everywhere, right?
I don't think anywhere is equipped for ice. Like, we get ice all the time down here because we're at this magical window of like 20 miles south, it's rain, 20 miles north, it's, snow, and we just get hit with all the ice.
Yeah.
And I mean, they can salt the roads, they can put down stuff, but it doesn't matter. Like, people are still going to slip.
At least where you
ass.
are, they can take the strategy of, if we wait a day, it'll melt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And here, that is not the case.
Sometimes not even a day. Sometimes it's like for an hour there's ice on the ground, and then it's like, oh hey guys, it's 60 degrees outside. Let's go out and get our shorts.
Charlotte's similar, which makes the cranes of going and buying every loaf of bread, carton of milk, and eggs, all the more crazy. It's like, no, you'll be out tomorrow. Don't worry, it'll all be gone.
We have a local teacher who, he was a science teacher, I guess, at one of the local high schools. He has a Facebook account that's called like Bob Club Weather or something like that. And he used to rate the storms based on the number of milk jugs you need to buy. He's like, we got a 2-gallon freak out coming. Be prepared.
Yeah.
It's great.
Stock up.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, let's be honest. If I'm stuck inside because of snow,
milk.
I don't want milk. I don't want bread.
Yeah.
I want some damn donuts. You know what I mean? Come on.
Donuts and beer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe some good.
You can't go anywhere.
Coffee. Some good Perk coffee.
Yeah. Perk coffee first, then beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't act uncivilized. Drink beer for breakfast. Who does that?
Depends on the time of year. Yeah.
You guys weren't laughing.
I'll just say, beer does not go well with toast. It goes fine with eggs.
It does.
What about the minty freshness of toothpaste?
Oh.
Yeah.
After beer?
But why?
Before, after? Why do we have to discriminate?
Well, I feel like if you're doing it after, then
I feel
it's
judgment. Do you guys feel judgment? I feel
Yes,
judgment.
I agree. No, I mean, are you a wake up and brush your teeth first thing kind of guy, or you wait till you have to eat breakfast and drink your coffee to brush your teeth?
Oh, I always wait. Yeah. You?
Okay. At breakfast, I'm a flip flopper.
Oh,
I mean, I wear flip flops to breakfast plenty of times. I don't know if it has to do with brushing my teeth.
Teeth brushing is not a set time in the breakfast, the morning routine.
So some days you do it before breakfast?
If I had my preference, it was the first thing. It would be the first thing before breakfast.
I'm with Greg on this.
Do you brush your teeth before you get on the bike?
No.
Not this morning. No.
Yeah, that's why.
I will, but most of the time, no.
Most of the time, no. Which is why I'm all over the place.
So Vermont was the one who coined velvet teeth.
Velvet teeth, yeah.
Oh.
I find this interesting, for one, that I am such an animal, like a creature of habit, right? That I have to do things in routine, regardless of whatever.
I'm generally with you.
I know, and that's what I thought. But then you're telling me that you will flip-flop before or after breakfast to brush your teeth.
I had a very solid routine of wake up, brush teeth, take a shower, and then once I added bike to the mix, everything got goosey-goosey.
All bets were off, huh?
Because especially when I first started really getting back into cycling, it was on the trainer, and I didn't do it every single day. It was like 3-4 days a week. So some mornings I would brush teeth first thing. Some mornings I would get on the bike first thing.
It's too much spontaneity for me. I'm sorry, Greg.
It's all right. I'm not offended. In some ways, it's been liberating.
Can you imagine how type A I am, that I'm like freaking out about somebody brushing their teeth before or after riding a bike?
You're doing it wrong, friend.
Yeah. Why are you doing this? I'm nervous sweating right now.
Hey, Dad, do you want to really get your gears going?
Oh, what are you going to tell me?
After breakfast every day.
See, that's okay.
I do too.
Oh, okay. So it's the routine. Okay.
It's the lack of like strict militaristic regimen.
So long as you have a plan.
Of noise
brushing time.
Gotcha. As long as there's a plan, you're okay.
Well, and you're sticking to the plan.
Yes.
Like you guys don't unload the dishwasher at 6:48 every day.
AM or PM?
Oh, obviously AM.
Oh,
My wife would not stand for
day.
anything else. I unload the dishwasher every day. Yeah. You don't run the dishwasher every day?
Every other.
Oh, you guys obviously don't have children that use as many bowls as mine do.
We hand wash the bowls. Especially if it's one of their bowls. If it's one of their bowls, they're little bowls. Quick little wipe around.
True, it's called a dishwasher. It's not like I'll wash some of your dishes.
I have 2 of them attached to each arm.
You have 2 dishwashers and you still hand wash bowls.
2 dishwashers.
You're doing it wrong, friend.
His hands are the dishwasher.
To quote Greg, you're doing it wrong, friend. What about you, Greg? Do you have a dishwasher?
I do.
Do you hand wash your bowls?
No, I don't. I
said bowls for the record.
I guess if we were talking about other things, then maybe I do hand wash them. But anyway.
Well, you don't want to put those in any kind of machine. Trust me.
No, those are not going in the dishwasher.
High pressure water hurts. Yeah, we're run it most days. There occasionally we wouldn't, but most of the time. We go through enough dishes that it's pretty full every day.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have, Greg?
What's that?
How many kids do you have?
Two kids.
2?
You answered that at the beginning.
2 girls.
Yep.
It's okay. Drew's about to realize that for every child you have, the dirty dishes go up exponentially. It's not a linear curve.
We were talking about that the other day. All of our
Your time to stand and hand wash disappears.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem is we're getting back into bottles again. And I'm like, oh, Christ. Here we go. Talk about hand washing.
Oh, my gosh.
We were anal about that, about like, we have to use antibacterial soap and you have to use hot water.
You steam them too?
Oh, yeah. Had the sanitizer. No.
Second
I
children.
only born the first one. I was like, Olivia, you're going to be changing more diapers than Daddy. Come on.
I had totally blocked, like psychologically trauma blocked washing bottles until you brought it up. And then I was like,
Well, it's funny
I had forgotten.
In the Discord, people will talk about things like somebody was talking about potty training recently, and I was like, oh, shit, I gotta do that again too. Sleep training, gotta do that again.
That's bad news.
We were in such a sweet spot, like 4-year-old.
It'll be worth it. It'll be a short turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you gone through any like the refresher classes or any of the I'm taking your kids classes or anything like that again?
Nope, I'm just diving right on the grenade.
Okay.
Just going right in.
We had 3 years between ours, and we're like, oh, we got this. We had a kid, and Kiki came along. We're like, holy shit, what should we do? We don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Child CPR. Oh my god, she's lucky to be alive.
No,
that's one thing I've always taken for granted is that I don't have to go through like the child CPR stuff because like that's just part of work. You know what I mean? It's like, I have to re-up on this every year. So
yep. I just did mine.
Yeah.
Maybe a month ago. I never really understood why.
It changes every 2 years.
Call 911. Go get an AED.
The best is in those trainings. Okay, I'm checking the scene. It's right. The scene is safe. Oh, good. Okay, wonderful.
When you have to go for the check off, like for all the the compressions and stuff. Yep. We have the chattiest nurse in the entire hospital, and I'm like there on my day off, just coming in to get the chest compressions on this
the worst.
Damn dummy, and you want to talk to me about your vacation? I'm like, I don't have time for this. Come on.
Yeah.
Let me push on this thing's chest so I can get the F out of here.
Let me get my 30 compressions. Let's go. Make sure the little green light blinks at me. All right.
I'm such an asshole. Sorry.
But then you also get like the people that you don't know. So as a teacher, you go to trainings most times with people you don't necessarily know. And you're sitting there with these people and it's like, hi, where do you teach? I don't really care where you teach. I just want to get this over with.
Sorry, is this group therapy? I thought I'm in the wrong room.
What do you teach?
Small talk,
Drew, your response should be to that person, be like, what do you teach? CPR? Can we get to that, please?
Are you the instructor? If so, can we get a move on? If not, shut the hell up, please.
The new kid worries.
The joys of kids.
Yes.
But that was why I think Tiago had the best phrase about it. Everybody was talking about like the New York State the TT championship. Tiago was like, oh, you guys should come up and Like Bonica was talking about doing it, and I think Brasta's got another race that weekend. And I was like, oh yeah, like that'd be fun. Tiago's like, you won't be there.
It's nice knowing you, Drew.
Just after my second kid, I wasn't able to do something like this for 4 years. And I was like, oh, Tiago, why you have to hurt me?
Yeah, right. I'm already going to be sleep deprived. You got to kill my dreams too.
Oh man. Yeah, I keep saying to my wife though, I'm like, I'll take Olivia and she can hang out with me. She's like, no. We take shifts. We take turns.
It's true. It's true.
All right. That'll be good though. I'm excited to see how Olivia does with the baby.
Yeah, I think you have a benefit of having an older kid.
Yeah.
Like not older, but like relatively older.
Yeah, old enough to know.
Not two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, mine were 18 months apart, so it's basically like two babies at once,
Yeah.
That's my
I feel
sister
for
now.
people who have twins. God, that's got to be horrible.
People say like 2 under 2 is tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clark was great with Kiki. I remember the day we brought her to the hospital to meet her, and she was super excited. She was following everything and getting involved with everything as far as getting ready for Kiki in the closing stages. But she walked into the hospital and was like, all right, where's my baby?
Yeah.
I was told there was a child of mine here. Let's go.
And she was great with her for a long time. Now they're sisters, right? And they had their good moments.
Yeah.
She loved the heck out of that child and helped mommy a lot over the course of the first couple of years.
I was with someone early when we were pregnant with our second. Someone was like, to your first kid, you treat it like their baby. Tell it it's their baby. Like make it theirs to sort of own in their mind. And they'll be on your side. And I was like, okay, all right. And we did that. It totally paid off. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think ours were just so close that they thought
you had
they
no
were each
chance.
other's
Sorry.
baby. Yeah.
My kids are 3 years
cute, though.
apart.
It's cute though, because like in the car, my daughter's like obsessed. She wants to have a sleepover at my brother's house. Okay, with my sister-in-law and their daughter.
All right.
So she wants to have a sleepover, but she realized that Parker would be there with her, and she kind of freaked out. She's like, "But where's Parker going to be?" We're like, "Well, Parker would be at home with us." No, I don't. Parker has to sleep with me. Like I can't be in a different place than him. We've never been apart. I'm like, "Well, that's not true." But she, and she's like, yesterday we're in the car, and she's like, "I think I'll be okay. I think I'll have my bunny, so I think I'll be all right." Because I care about my bunny. We're like, well, you care about Parker too, right? She's like, oh, well, yeah, but I mean, I love my bunny.
Thought processes of a child.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course I love
this
my
has-
brother. Yeah, he's
This
there.
has been what she's thinking about all week.
All week. Yeah.
Yeah.
She finally put it together in her mind. She's ready to present it as a formal presentation to her parents.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
So, Greg, I have a question for you. You actually, only because during the process of setting goals for ourselves, a lot of people set the mileage goal, which everybody was quick to shoot down as like, you ride on Zwift. What are you setting a mileage goal for? What is your goal in terms of 2023 for yourself?
Well, so from a target race perspective, nationals is kind of it, and that's in August. So I'm pretty good form for that in previous years and never been able to get on podiums. That's always a goal. That's always going to be a goal until I can make it a reality, or I guess maybe die trying. But from a more kind of macro process goal perspective, I just want to be more consistent here. I had a rough start to last year. So I had, whatever it was, I had, COVID in February, then separated my shoulder, and then got shingles. I didn't race my first race until I think it was mid or late June last year.
Yeah.
And I had the crash in the state crit in mid-August. So I only raced for like 6 weeks last year, 6 or 8 weeks last year. So just be able to be more consistent, try to get in the race days. We've got a good team kind of forming. We've got a 40 plus and 50 plus, so gel well with the 40 plus guys, learn how to race off each other a little bit better. Nice. But if all that happens, it'll be a good year. I don't, as far as like training structure, I don't use mileage. I do use time and then time at intensity. But yeah, that's probably it in a nutshell as far as goals. And just kind of give myself the space or the grace that when it isn't going well to not beat myself up too much, just with work and family and all that stuff. It's easy to forget that I'm not a professional cyclist or, train at the time and to recover and train like professional cyclists. To try to fit it all in sometimes gets to be challenging.
Very cool.
I think that's something that most people have to ground themselves with every now and then. It's like, I don't know if you know, we're in a room full of 2 champions right now. These 2 have recently won a title.
World champions?
World champions.
World champions.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from that. That's a great accomplishment. Congratulations, both of you.
Hey, it's my first one. Both of you have like 4, so shut up.
I can only have 2, but it's fine.
All right.
Actually, I think I only have 1.
You're a multi-time world champion?
Drew is, for sure.
Certainly is.
I got the helmet on right now to prove it. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's how beyond it I am. I'm like, I don't need to wear that helmet. My skills show themselves.
This is like as a flex for the TTT last week. I was like, oh, just wear my other world champion helmet here. Is that going for another one? No big deal. Rode for 7 minutes with the team. Got dropped.
Vitally important.
That 1 minute pull.
The best was a minute and a half into the ride. And not even. It was like 45 seconds in. I was like, bro, you're crowding me. And I was like, I had one job.
Drew's like, bye, guys. It was great.
Yep.
Loved every
luck.
minute. All 7 of them.
See you guys on Discord later.
Boy, I hope we win.
And then, of course, the email comes from WTRL. They're like, Perk is offering this, whatever. Use this code to get 100% off your order. And everybody was like, whoa.
Yes. What? Your whole order?
They meant 10%.
Oh.
Like, you ever seen the movie Sting?
Yes. With the pig.
With Mrs. Crawley, and her eyeball bounces around the keyboard, and the prize goes from like $1,000 to $100,000. Yep. Somebody got a little zero happy.
It happens.
10%, 100%. I mean, what can that really be? What's the difference?
I don't know. Before we get into the segment this week, I'd like to follow up with Greg on a question that we've asked multiple people. But being that you're from Vermont and you're known for your pizza, are you a crust man or a sauce man?
I've done some independent research.
That's my man.
Family members on this based on your normal question.
Uh-huh.
And I think we all agree it's got to be crust first. And then,
crust first.
You can screw up a pizza real first with the crust being bad. The sauce matters, but, the crust is what gets you in the first place.
Agreed. I had, Greg, did you guys ever eat at Dewey's when you lived in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I had Dewey's Monday.
Sure.
It was just as I remembered it. Mm-hmm. Oh, so good.
How was the sauce?
The first thing I said to my wife was, "This crust is excellent." She's like, "Yes, it is."
Bingo.
You know how I know it's not the crust or it's not the sauce, Drew? At Dewey's, they don't have like traditional sauces. Like the pizza that I had a fig jam for a sauce.
I was just going to say, it's a select sauce type pizza place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the pizza is amazing. Still my favorite pizza in St. Louis.
And Steve K was talking just about some sort of peanut butter based pizza in the pizza podcast.
Peanut butter and bacon, I think.
Yeah. Sauce is optional.
And then you got Squirrel coming out of left field with Domino's. I'm like, what? No.
Blasphemy.
Little Caesars I'll allow because, pizza. But
hot and ready.
And ready. That's my name in college.
So I will say, and this is coming from a sauce guy, right? Crust, I think you recognize earlier than sauce.
Yeah.
The sauce is what is memorable. I walk away from a pizza and I'll be like, yeah, that sauce was really good. Yeah, crust was good, but crust gets you.
Yeah.
Sauce hooks you.
Either one can sink a pizza, too. I mean, that's important.
100%.
Hold on.
Yep.
Rebuttal
Like the
for your
best
sauce
sauce
statement.
Yes.
To me, it's not the sauce itself; it's the ratio of toppings to the sauce that makes a
I can
difference.
see that. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
but now
if there's-
we're diving into personal preference, we're stepping out of a dichotomy
You're
of
right.
sauce
You're
versus crust.
I'm sorry. I got too close to the argument. I'm going to back off for a minute. I'm going to step outside of it.
Well, and you got to prep the crust appropriately for the sauce, right? You can't have too much sauce making the crust soggy.
Yep. As I say, that's a
right,
whole other ratio.
Depending on how thick is the crust,
Right.
especially not
that
just
denotes
the,
how much sauce
not
you
just
can
the
put on
crust,
it.
but the bed of dough. Yeah.
Yeah.
How thick is that? How dense is that? How much sauce is it going to take up?
What's your cook time?
Really,
Because if it sits there too long.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a little soggy.
It's science.
Right. Well, I'm glad we could all agree that it's the crust. Greg, do you have a segment prepared?
Always. I'm excited to return to Great Greg's because we have a
Great
Greg
Greg's.
on. And this, regular listeners will remember this is a pet peeve of mine that it seems in popular media, Gregs are almost always bad, stupid, or hated for some reason. There are not a lot of positive Greg role models. And when people talk about famous Gregs that are liked, there's Gregory Peck. Sure, great. He's dead. Greg Kinnear, maybe, but not a renowned hero of anything. Fine actor. And then you start getting into politicians. There's a governor, Greg Abbott. Fine.
Yeah, well liked.
Yeah, universally
Accepted
loved
as a
by all.
governor, yes.
And then after that, it kind of drops off. And so I wanted to ask another Greg, just not me ranting, but
Who is your Greg role model?
no, but have you noticed this anti-Greg bias? There's the Greg in Superbad. Fuck off, Greg. It's just soccer.
Yeah.
There's Gregory in the South Park movie. Gregory can fuck right off.
Meet the parents, Greg.
There you go, Greg.
Name is actually Gaylord.
It's a joke.
I've never necessarily connected the dots in that fashion, but now that I have, I'm quite concerned. I think you probably have to go back to
Let me show you a corkboard.
Guys, I have the answer right here. You be the Greg you want the world. Be the Greg the world needs.
And that's all you
here we
can
go.
do. I know, but I'm still, every now and then, I've got a platform. I've got to use it to speak out against this anti-Greg nonsense.
I think you could be Greg Norman, which not to bring it into golf because we all know Greg and I's opinion on golf. But
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Greg Norman, he was always a good guy.
I
wine
think
now
the
and everything.
PGA Tour of America would disagree.
Yes.
I have heard that Tiger's real name is Ty Greg, so I think you're going to be okay.
Is he a positive role model? Hold on. I want to hear the rest of
He's positive
Greg's
for
answer,
something.
though.
Yeah.
What was that?
I want to hear the rest of your answer.
We want to hear your Greg take.
Dot connection.
I got nothing. So I almost have to go back and say, being raised Catholic and going to Catholic school, there are many popes by the name of Greg, but whether that's positive or not could be debated.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm cringing right now for those who can't see the popes. Okay.
We're doing altar boy duds.
No, I ran out of the room too quickly. He couldn't catch me.
I really got. My dad's a Greg. He's a stand-up guy.
Okay.
So you're a junior.
I am.
See, that's what it is, Greg. He had one growing up.
Yeah, he had a Greg role model. There you go.
Yeah.
And I have other Gregs in the family that are all pretty, good guys, but obviously none famous or from a public perspective accomplished.
This is a statistical anomaly. Greg is it's always there at 5% of name popularity. It never disappears, but it's never, a big name.
Popular, yeah.
So growing up, I was always either the only Greg or one of two Gregs in school.
Same.
But you've got there's a Greg density around your life.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
A critical Greg Mass, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's in my family, you either have to be named Thomas or Greg, basically. So,
Dang,
and then
okay.
girl side, Kathy.
So you have people in your family named Thomas Thompson?
No, this is the Cox side.
The other side.
Yeah. Side of the family, my mom's side.
So you could have been a Gregory Cox.
Yes.
I mean,
if we took my dad took my mom's name.
If you're right.
if his mom married his uncle or something,
come on. That's just irrational. Don't speak these things to me, Greg. I'm a totally rational person. I'm trying to think of other famous Gregs. It's very difficult to come up with a list.
I got on Wikipedia and I was like, okay, let's go to the Greg page on Wikipedia. And very quickly it was like, never heard of. Well, how did they make the list?
For all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
No, is every Greg a Gregory? Because you could have a Fred, and he's just Fred, not Frederick or.
I don't know about other Greg, but most Gregs are either Gregories or Greg with 2 G's at the end, which I find offensive and wrong.
So obviously we're both Gregories in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There's a guitarist for a band called Mudvayne named Greg Tribbett. That's the only Greg I can think of.
All right. Okay.
So if you're into early 2000s / late 90s new metal, yeah.
Greg Van Avermaet?
He was also in a band called Hell Yeah.
Okay.
With Vinnie Paul, the drummer from Pantera, who's died.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's my one.
I don't want to be totally negative on Greg's. I just feel like
they get a bad rep,
especially movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we could be blessed with 2 great Gregs this morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A great morning to be a Greg.
What's that?
I said it's a great morning to be a Greg.
Yeah. It is.
Great day to be a Greg.
Just popped in my head, that great day to be alive. That's a country song. I don't know why that popped in my head, but anyway. Well, Greg, are you looking forward to any events coming up in the near future, or you got anything going this weekend? You want to meet up for a beer? What?
I'm not racing this weekend. We're going to be in Jekyll Island for gymnastics meet.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. Ride some different roads, stuff like that. Do the gymnastics thing. I raced this past weekend, and then I'm going down to Georgia again the weekend of March 18th and 19th. And then race that weekend, April 1st, and then have a decent-sized racing block at the end of April. So it's ramping up.
Yeah. Nice. I'm debating myself of actually riding outside this morning to work because I have a race, not one that
ready for that event.
Right, not one that I particularly expect to perform well in, but a race nonetheless on Saturday, and I haven't ridden outside since July, maybe June. So
the roads stayed the same. So did the trails.
You say that. They just repaved my street, so they're not the same, Greg.
That's fancy.
Not the same.
So what are you waiting for? You got to get out there and test the new tarmac.
That's what I'm thinking, but
just do laps on your street. Like what is he doing?
If you've seen my street, you'd be like, that would be a bad one for a lap. It's just a straight 45-degree angle.
Oh.
Not fun at all.
Does this race involve swimming and running as well, or is it just riding a bike?
It's only riding. It's riding on this stuff that's like smashed up rocks called gravel.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like streets, but they've been broken up by some sort of a pile driver or jackhammer. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, like mountain biking, I expect I would fall a lot in that, so I tend to not ride a lot of gravel.
So my gravel bike does have a drop seat post, so I can get pretty low to it. So I'm not too concerned about descents as much, but I'm still going to take them cautiously. Mike Gertmuller, is going to be there with another guy from the Ohio area. And of course, JJ Miller,
JJ.
who lives like 2 minutes from the course. So
Nice.
we'll see.
Nice.
We'll have a recap maybe next week. See if JJ wants to join us.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Looking forward to it.
Hopefully neither of us are injured. Knock on plastic or wood.
Fine.
Just needs to be laid
Especially-
down, and then it won't mess up your podcasting/video casting.
Yeah, as long as I can still talk, I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a fancy black tie event that evening, so this could go horribly wrong. Yeah.
Has your wife already had the conversation with you? Like, don't hurt yourself.
Oh no, she's gonna go regardless. She's already told me. She's like, look, if you're out, I'm gonna go with our friends. I'm like, no, that's cool. I understand. I'll stay home. I'm more worried about like being so exhausted that I just like fall asleep at the table. Like that's my biggest fear. 'Cause I've seen people like that, fall asleep at the table. And you're like, look at that idiot. He's fell asleep at the table. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, understand. Typically, that's for other reasons, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, alcohol.
Yeah.
Not because they woke up and did a race early in the morning.
And burn 3,000 calories. Yeah. Well, Greg, it's a pleasure to be joined by such Virginia/Carolinas/Vermont-ness in the morning. Great Greg indeed. Great Greg indeed.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us. For the rest of you,
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
we'll see you next week. Hopefully all in one piece.
All right. Good luck.
Hey, don't die. Go fast, don't die, right?
That's it.
I'm out. See ya. Natty Light, 24 pack.
Yeah.
And a shot collar. Me, 2 dudes. It was a rough night.